Well, Sunday's David versus Goliath between Liquid and Immortals is the North American game of the week. In the hearts of longtime LCS fans, the battle between TSM and C9 is just as important, especially coming at a time when both teams are playing possibly their best league of the split.
Yeah, everybody's been keeping track of both of these squads because coming in, there was so much hype around TSM. Brought together all of these stars, yet it took so long to get it working for them. You know, they've had marked improvements for every week that we've had, but they've been very small improvements, and the team didn't feel like they were where they really wanted to be until last weekend. You know, TSM finally felt like they had one of the best weekends for themselves. Pretty much everybody on the team was performing. It really all did start out in that mid lane, though. I mean, the solo kill Bjergsen got onto Huhi was a huge part of that. And overall, this split, Bjergsen has not been performing as well as he used to. You know, the king of the mid lane, you know, the Danish import for North America was the huge reason for TSM's power. And this beginning of this split hasn't been there quite as much. That's a scary thing going against Cloud9 and Jensen, who has been a monster this split.
He has been huge. You talk about Bjergsen. Bjergsen came in and he was big. Jensen took a season and now he's starting to get big.
Yeah, if you compare Jensen's previous stats to Jensen now, or Incarnation, you know, before the name change.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the complete opposite story of Bjergsen, pretty much up across the board in KDA, damage dealt, and all of the stats. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup because while we're used to seeing TSM versus Cloud9, usually it's TSM who have the upper hand in the mid lane, team solo mid, yet now Cloud9 have this really big power player in the mid lane with High back on the team, enabling him to make all of these solo plays.
Like I said, it'll be interesting to see how far Incarnation can go because this was his first split in. We see Bjergsen coming over from Copenhagen Wolves from the European LCS. They kind of brought that power already. Maybe Incarnation is still growing. And speaking of carries, TSM brought in Yellowstar to carry their communication and shot calling. But so far this spring, TSM has looked anything but coordinated so far, while High continues to be somewhat of a Hall of Fame caliber shot caller leader.
Yeah, I think this is another kind of interesting side-by-side we can do with the TSM and Cloud9 of this year. High, as you know, they've settled on him as a shot caller. He's been in the last couple of weeks. Bunny Fufu's still working with him, you know, to try and improve his support play. But meanwhile, it's Yellowstar on the other side, the other support who was brought in. Initially, we talked about the expectations for this TSM team. Yellowstar was going to sort of take on and lead the communication, in-game communications, at least for these guys, and that has been one of the big sticking points that people have been pointing out. There are a lot of times when, you know, in one of the games, a member of TSM will want to initiate and commit to a fight and go for a kill, while at the exact same time, someone else is leaving because they thought they gave up on the play. So these small little hiccups are still happening for them. We'll see if they're ironed out against Cloud9.
It just continues to make us all feel human, though, in our mistakes. Feels good. Feels good.
Everybody makes mistakes.
For the fans, it's all got to stop. Well, we get to see which leader can pilot their team to victory this Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific when TSM takes on Cloud9.